Hello, Startup City speaking, Boa Online. I'd like to address certain things between women and men when it comes to doing business and being creative. Every generation demands of itself something different, something new, something vibrant. And there is a big gap between the older generation and the younger generation, and that creates the tension you have in societies where now the younger ones are coming out in riot and saying that their interests are being hampered, and the older generation is getting insecure and arming themselves against the younger generation. The young generation forgets that when they get older, they're going to be in the same situation because naturally human beings tend to think that they have to protect themselves against each other. So the old generation needs to be reminded that at some point they were also fighting for their own independence, for their own right to be creative and express themselves, and that there is really no need for making a mess out of themselves at an older age. When the young are growing, they need their liberties, they need their freedoms, but they don't understand the consequences of their actions and how whatever it is that they wanted to do ends up being a problem. And that's because they had been following, the older generation had been following certain rules, and because they have been told that they should be following other people's ideologies, they now have an issue allowing others forming their own ideologies. So you end up having an older generation that is trying to live the life again and trying to be young as they could, but the young are not allowing them to be young again. So you now find out that each generation is now hindering the other and each other in their own interests. And that is where you now have your depressive moments in societies where people cannot change from being like others into being themselves. There is a saying that says all roads lead to Rome. It doesn't really matter who, how started, where. It's the fact that you need to get to that level of happiness and self satisfaction that you had achieved something in your life to yourself, even if others do not recognize you. That self satisfaction usually doesn't exist in a lot of people because they have been told that there is only one or two way of achieving happiness or success. Meanwhile, all that is based on your emotion recognition. Do you really need somebody to recognize that you have succeeded? Do you really need somebody to pat you at the back or tickle your ego in order to feel successful? In truth, even if they tell you that you have succeeded. The fact that you had wasted all that time hoping that they will only comes down to hurting yourself. So you might as well, in the short period of time that you have left, give yourself another opportunity to start all over again if you want to. There is also a saying in the Bible where uh, where it says there will come a day when I will ask you will be saying that you did cast demons in my name and cured people in my name, and at the end of the day I recognize you not. It all has to do with you losing your personality, looking for success from everywhere and everyone after you have done so much for other people, and you can't stand up to recognize your own self as a human being any longer. So it's uh, it's a catch 22, I could say, when people who have given their lives to a particular type of service and they now want to be recognized for it. Meanwhile, the generation that they had done the service for has long gone and died off. And they are expecting some kind of recognition from the newer generation who is now reaping perhaps the benefits of what the previous generation had gone through. It doesn't work that way. Generations change every 5 years, and there is a need for a reminder, a revision of what was done and what wasn't done. You know, people people are very forgetful when times are good, and when times become bad they don't know where they could get their memories back from. So it will be healthy for people if they kept records of their actions. It also creates the exercise of recording and putting down on paper your thoughts, helps the brain from having the what they call dementia, and actually eases your mind from being angry. So people who don't literally write or speak, or are told not to speak, they usually start having brain function problems. You know, um, even if you're talking nonsense or you're writing nonsense, you're supposed to write. If you look in the Bible, there is so much that is just, you know, unthought of or unused. At some point, all those words, they do mean something and matter something. So today, whatever it is that you are saying might be crazy, and tomorrow it will be considered profound. So you have to just write, just do, just talk. There is a reason you're given a mouth to express yourself. There is a reason you are given ears to hear, eyes to see, nose to smell, tongue to taste. So all of those things, they matter. Those people who want to keep you quiet are usually people who are jealous, who are envious, who themselves have been abused. So if they tell you to keep quiet, just accept it and go ahead, go meet those who would want to listen, and take it not as your personal, you know, as a personal favor to yourself. You know, people are keeping records of people's thoughts over time so that they can find the truth to history, to knowledge, to information. So, yeah, we're interesting people, writers, don't we? Aren't we? We write, we read, we talk. How are we supposed to be? How else? Very few people know the life of writers and what they go through and what they've had to curtail themselves with and hide behind, you know, all in the need to preserve the human life. Uh, we are unique in our own way. Everybody is different. In the market, wherever I went to, I've seen how people are doing one and the same type of businesses and they think they will succeed. The truth of the matter is that if you aren't unique, who is going to notice you? If you continue selling one and the same types of products, one shop will get all the deals, the rest will be sitting down, hoping, wishing that they worked, and before you know it, they're having fights between each other and scorn. And the market shouldn't be like that. I hope this leaves food for thought. In the comment section, we can discuss it a little bit more further into how to being creative and how you can set trends and why you shouldn't be afraid of being unique because it's an expression of who you are. Our faces are not the same. In some cases, we do look alike, but in essence, twins, they have their own kind of character, personality, even if they have the same faces. So why should your business be the same like everybody else's? Life needs to be lived, fun needs to be achieved, and it only comes from your personalities and the character of actions that you take. So invent new things, set new trends, do new things. Hello, Startup City Boss speaking.